Waking Up Singapore.
Gotta get up.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to Good Morning, Doctor. We welcome today to the Big Show Dr. Ivan Ng, Associate Professor Neurosurgeon from Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital. Good morning, Dr. Ng.
Good morning, Glenn.
Actually, what, should I call you doctor or professor? Because you are Associate Professor Neurosurgeon.
Just call me Ivan. Everybody calls me Ivan.
Calls you Ivan.
Yeah.
So cool, I know. Immediately. Ivan is very cool.
Very cool, very cool. So today we're going to talk brain tumours, implications and treatments. Is a brain tumour, or are there various brain tumours?
Yeah. So actually, there are many types of brain tumours. That includes tumours that exist within the brain itself, i.e., from the tissue of the brain, or tumours that have spread from other parts of the body into the brain. So we deal with many varieties of brain tumours, and so it is actually a more heterogeneous group than most people think.
Okay. And how does a brain tumour come about?
Well, I think that the essentially it comes. We don't really know why some people have brain tumours.
Is it because they think too much? Or? No?
I don't think so. I think it's in the light of the fact that we don't know very much about what the origins are. It's really very much a luck of the draw. There's not a lot of lifestyle that changes that you can do to prevent that. So it's really a black box even up to today. Although there are now tumours that we know have an origin, and it's because of technology. People are surviving longer from cancer treatment. So the longer you survive from cancer, the more likely you are going to have, for example, tumour that goes to the brain because there is time. So 1 in 3 tumours, brain tumours, actually come from disease outside the body, cancers from outside the body going to the brain.
Wow,
as many as 1 in 3 now. Yeah. It was probably maybe about 10%, maybe about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, but now you're 1 in 3, maybe up to even 40%.
Does lifestyle have anything to do with it?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, it's one of those diseases that up to today is a black box. We don't really know why some people are more prone to have brain tumours than others. There are a small subgroup for which there is a genetic link. Inherited kind of a thing, but they are the minority. Yeah.
Actually, that could be good news for some people who are, thinking because of their lifestyle. Maybe it's smokers or whatever. It goes up to the brain.
I was actually thinking smokers and drinkers.
Yeah. Well, I think smokers and drinkers do have a higher all-cause mortality for diseases, but not specific really to the brain. Yeah.
Right.
How would I know that I should get checked for something? I mean, is it headaches? Is it blurred vision? What am I looking for when it comes to?
Yeah. So the brain essentially controls a lot of from a functional standpoint, a lot that we do. So if our headaches, of course, is the single most common complaint. Headaches that are early mornings, headaches that never go away, and headaches that are progressive, getting worse and worse, disturbs you in your sleep. Those are the significant ones. The occasional headache that comes on and off generally are not. And the difficulty, of course, it's individuals who are migraine sufferers. And that's where you have a lot of false alarms. But the other things would be like, for example, weakness, unexplained weakness in your hand that doesn't go away, visual loss, or usually visual loss would be in the form of blurring of vision, or darkening of vision, which is more common, right? Because
I see.
Blindness is complete blackness.
Right.
So as you lose visual acuity, your vision sort of, it gets darker and darker.
Right.
And of course, a lot of the tumours present with sudden epileptic fit, uncontrollable shaking of the limbs, which is unmistakable and pretty hard to ignore.
All right. We are speaking to Neurosurgeon Associate Professor Ivan Ng right here on The Big Show, and he is from Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital. Very interesting. We're talking about brain tumours today, implications as well as treatment. Up next, Jisoo. This is Flower on Kiss 92.
As we continue our discussion on brain tumors, if you have any questions, please remember to drop them into the comment section of our Facebook. We'll try and get to your questions as soon as possible. Can brain tumors be treated, or is it just an operable, a surgery situation?
It used to be that when you have a brain tumor, you're done for, right? Doctor gives you a pat on the back, 6 months, you're done.
Yeah.
And for a long time, surgery was pretty morbid. But in the last 20 years, things have changed quite significantly, particularly in the last 10 years. There's now a whole gamut of minimally invasive surgeries or even non-invasive treatment that we can do. So essentially right now, a brain tumor doesn't necessarily always mean the death knell for the individual. In fact, 9 times out of 10, it is potentially salvageable.
Oh, wow. Those are very good numbers.
How complicated is brain surgery?
The adage about brain surgery, right? I think that's urban legend. At the end of the day, it's a technical exercise. It's just somebody being trained to do that little bit of work in that specific area. So he's trained, the 10,000 hours kind of skill that you need to learn from. So it is not really that complex.
Right. You're very modest.
Yeah.
You're extremely modest.
I'm just wondering, because we've heard from many surgeons over various topics, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys use robotics in brain surgery?
We don't, because we don't trust the robots. Yeah.
Wow.
We only trust our own
so
hands.
If I'm a patient, I also won't trust the robot.
No, I only ask that because, robots are said to be so accurate.
Yeah, I think in some specialties like prostate gynecological procedures, the robot has really been a godsend and in terms of improving outcomes. But we work in very small areas. We work in the space of the diameter of a test tube, and so we work in deep dark holes, and the instrumentation of a robot at this moment doesn't allow us to move in that kind of space, which is a millimeter, sub-millimeter accuracy.
Wow.
So because of that, we can't use a robot.
Wow, that's interesting. In Singapore today, any particular part of the brain that gets affected more than any other place?
Well, the large majority of the tumors would be in the forebrain. By virtue of the fact that volume for volume, it occupies the greatest part of the brain. So the frontal lobes, parietal lobes, temporal lobes. So these are areas that control cognition, control speech, controls limb movements, and vision. And these are the ones that are most commonly involved.
I just got a text message here.
Yeah, please.
And of course, I asked him for, whether it's okay.
Yeah.
He says yes, but he wants to say hi to you, our very good friend Bernard Lim.
Oh, Bernard.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Bernard says you are his lifesaver.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, Bernard. Yeah. Good morning, Bernard.
Bernard Lim, we all read about Bernard's situation. Some of us were there when it happened, and we were very concerned about Bernard, and we were concerned about him having the best doctor take care of him, and you were his doctor.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
When someone goes in for brain surgery, we hear all kinds of stories. After surgery, they can't recognize people and things like that. Is that a common thing?
Yes, it is. A lot of the times because, essentially it largely comes because of the physiological changes that happens immediately after surgery. The brain is not a solid organ, contrary to what it's not like a liver or heart or lung. It's essentially a semi-solid organ that floats in water.
Okay.
And during surgery, some of this fluid sort of it's sort of removed or escapes out, and so the brain sort of sags a little bit. So the brain isn't really functioning so well. So in the first couple of hours, some of them may be a little bit confused, sleepy, not talking, not responding. So that's quite common, but they recover quite quickly after that.
Quite quickly. Wow.
So what are the different treatments available to treat brain tumors?
The mainstay for treatment of large brain tumors would still be surgery. Of course, it is the common workhorse where we will have to go in and take out the tumors. But now increasingly, if you pick up tumors, they are early, then you may not need to subject individuals to surgery.
Okay.
You can now use, because of the value of radiation in all its forms, or whether it may be the standard radiation techniques to the more advanced techniques like proton beam, where you use special heavy particles to kill off the tumor. In the early days, we were unable to target, even though we had that capability to use. We know that radiation kills brain tumor cells, but it also kills normal tissue. So that is a bad thing. Right? But nowadays, with the advance of technology and targeting, you can target very, very accurately tumors down to sub-millimeter accuracy. Therefore, you can spare the brain. So if the tumors are small,
okay,
you can remove them.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We're going to go back on air.
Yeah.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Well, you've got the usual delays across the expressways. I don't think that's going to surprise too many people this morning. Areas to look out for: the SLE towards the BKE, a vehicle broken down after Lentor Avenue exit. AYE towards the MCE, an accident after Jurong Town Hall exit. Avoid lane 1. We've got Tampines Road. This is towards Fish Farm Road 1. Roadworks after Hougang Avenue 7. So look out for those areas. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Associate Professor Ivan Ng, who is a neurosurgeon at Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital. We've been talking about brain tumors and how we can treat brain tumors. Now, brain tumors, if left untreated, now I don't know whether I should call you doctor or professor. Can I just call you prof? That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to brain tumors, for people who don't know, have not gone for screening and all that, if left untreated, it could prove fatal, right?
Yeah, majority of brain tumors, if left untreated, is fatal. Because if the tumor grows within the skull is a fixed volume. So when the tumor grows within the skull, it will displace brain because there's no excess space inside the skull. So when that happens, it is almost uniformly fatal. So because of that, we have to deal with it.
Okay. We've got a question for the doctor on WhatsApp.
We've got a lot of questions on WhatsApp and on our Facebook page. But let's start with this one. It's from Siva. Good morning, good morning to Big Show. I agree with the doctor. My mother hardly used a mobile phone much, and she's a homemaker. But we are surprised to have found out that she has a brain tumor. She had successful surgery, and she's breathing again. But do things like mobile phones and excessive use, because we all hear about the radiation and waves coming from mobile phones and all. Is that for real?
That again is a bit of an urban legend. I mean, in the initial studies and some of them that suggested that there was a study in beagles many years ago when mobile phones started to make its appearance in the 90s, the late 90s. There's been subsequent studies. And in spite of the now widespread use, we have not seen a great increase in brain tumors. The number of increase in brain tumors comes about from the malignant tumors that have spread from the body. So that is more because, as I said earlier, that technology has led to a greater number of survivors. And now, the brain is the last bastion of defense, and we see more brain tumors because of longer survival from our cancer patients.
But how does that happen, doctor? I think, for people who are listening in right now, when you say things like, tumors can come about from other parts of the body.
Yes.
It can spread from there. How
does that happen?
Yeah, how does that happen? Because
so that those are almost invariably are cancers. So you can have a lung cancer, which is stage 1, and it's localized to the lung. But as it spreads, it can go to the bones.
Okay.
It can go, of course, into your liver. It can go to your brain.
Okay.
We used to think that once it reaches the brain, that's the end, because it would mean that the tumors can hop from one area in the brain to another area in the brain.
Right.
We know that doesn't exist anymore, because
Okay.
the brain has this thing called the blood-brain barrier. So you need to, first of all, the cancer must wear down that blood-brain barrier. It's kind of like Star Wars force field of the Starship Enterprise kind of a thing, right? And you need to, in Star Trek, you need to break down the force field before you can actually have a tumor in the brain. And immediately when the tumor enters enters the brain, the force field sort of reconstructs. So the way the tumor can do is just to grow within its confines.
Oh.
So when you remove that tumor,
Yeah.
that's the end. You see, unless your body disease is not controlled, then the tumors will keep going to the brain.
Right.
Right. Wow.
So,
okay.
a person who has a brain tumor does not necessarily have brain cancer.
No, yeah, it
It's
doesn't
a
necessarily-
different thing
It's a different thing yeah.
altogether.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Okay, speaking of brain cancer, I've come back. We've got a question on Facebook regarding brain cancer.
All right. Once again, we are speaking to Dr. Ivan Ng, Associate Professor Neurosurgeon from Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital. It's 8:17.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by
Okay.
Okay, so this is interesting. I think what we're talking about here is relapsing, perhaps, because Adeline has said, "What's the lifespan of a brain cancer patient?" Assuming, I guess you have brain cancer, you take it out. Does it affect your lifespan?
It does. So primary brain cancers are tumors that originate from the brain cells itself. And it is a significant and devastating disease. People will come to mind who have famous celebrities would be Silvio Ballesteros, the famous golfer. One of the Kennedys, Ted Kennedy, who's a senator, has had that cancer, and the survival really depends on the position and whether the surgeon can get enough of the tumor out of the head. So sometimes we are limited by the position, which means that we have to sacrifice function, and that can affect survivability and in terms of length of life and quality of life.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another question we've got is from Ye Ping, who says, if a patient has a brain tumor, does he need to undergo brain surgery to do a biopsy, or can it be done? Can blood tests or brain fluid tests be done?
Yeah, I think that for a large majority of tumors, you do require some form of a biopsy. But nowadays, imaging is so good that there are some tumors that is unmistakable, right? It's just like Glenn, if you walk on the street, nobody's ever going to mistake you for anybody else, right? Because you're Glenn, right? And FD, because you are unmistakable characters in the in the radio industry, and so the similarity be on an MRI, you can see certain tumors that that they're so characteristically there that you don't even have to do a biopsy, and you can go ahead and treat them.
Right.
Interesting. We've got a lot of questions coming through.
Fantastic. No, that's fantastic. So we're not going on air yet, right?
No, we've got time.
So, genetic testing for people who want to know if they're going to have a brain tumor, in future. How often, I mean, in your experience, have you had patients come up to you and gone like, I've got, my kids, for instance, should I put them through genetic testing?
Yeah. I think that at this point right now, there are some rare tumors where genetics would be valuable. And if you've got a fairly strong family history, in some scenarios we will. But they are generally not something that we would recommend, because unless your family history is very, very strong, right? We will not advise that, because it's expensive, and we don't quite know what to do of this with this new technology, right? I mean,
Right.
if you find this gene, what are your odds? We don't really know the odds, but there are some of them we do. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not common.
Yeah, it's not common. Yeah.
Following along those lines, Eddie asks, screening for brain tumors. Is there such a thing that people can go for? How early should they start?
Yeah. So, screening for brain tumors is something that is not so valuable. I would not advise that for a number of practical reasons. If you've not bought insurance, if when you do a scan and they find something, the insurer is never going to insure you.
Oh, that's true.
So you don't do an MRI. That would be my advice. Nevertheless, if you're a cancer survivor, then your oncologist will normally monitor you for tumors that recurs, and they normally do a whole body scan to every 6 months to make sure that you don't have any tumors anywhere else.
Okay, we'll go back on air again. I think that's a very important question. You can ask her on air. He'll ask you that question again.
Okay, yeah.
There's blood on the side of the mountain. It's turning a new shade of red. Yeah, sometimes the fire you found it don't burn the way you'd expect. Yeah, you thought that this was the end.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways, so no big surprises for anyone except for the SLE towards the BKE. A vehicle broken down after Lentor Avenue exit. Avoid lane 4 there. AYE towards the MCE, an accident after Jurong Town Hall exit. Avoid lane 1. Roadworks on Tampines Road. This is towards Fish Farm Road 1 after Hougang Avenue 7, so just look out for that. That'll slow you down a wee bit. Stay within the speed limit, please. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Dr. Ivan Ng, Associate Professor Neurosurgeon at Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital, and we're talking about brain tumors.
And we were talking about screening. Is there screening that we can go for? Eddie asks, at what age should screening start? Is there such a thing? Is there a practice like that?
Okay, so cancer screening for breast and colon, for example, are very well established.
Yeah.
But in the brain, there isn't a specific guideline. Of course, if you want to know whether you've got a brain tumor, an MRI would resolve the question very, very easily. But the yield is low. I mean, IE is usually not as common. Brain tumors are not as common as lung cancers or colon cancers or breast cancers, for example. And so that number is pretty low. But more important, there's a practical issue. If you do a scan and if you haven't, let's say, bought your insurance and all that, and you find something unexpected, then the insurer may not insure you. And so therefore, I would caution against just doing an MR if you have not bought your insurance, because that can be a real stickler for even if they find something unrelated, and that's been the experience of a lot of people who want to go and screen. And so therefore, I would caution against that.
Yeah.
For that practical reason, not because it is not doable. It's actually very doable.
Yeah.
Right.
So get your insurance first then.
Yeah, it would be get yourself covered for everything and then go get your checks
Yeah,
done.
these days, I mean, insurance is so important.
It is. And a lot of people are still, as far as I'm concerned, not insured properly.
That's true. So you're saying basically, I mean, when it comes to the brain, if you feel like we mentioned early on, you're getting constant headaches, in the morning, or headaches that just don't go away, that is a sign for you to get yourself checked, basically.
Yeah, if it doesn't go away, and it's something that you never had before, and it's a new symptom, and it's sort of gone on for a couple of weeks and getting worse, then you may be concerned enough to get it sorted out.
Yeah, because I know so many people who suffer from what they call migraines, right? I mean, they're constantly getting headaches and all that, to the point where they vomit because the pain is unbearable.
Yes, yeah. So a lot this group would be really the dilemma, right? Because obviously you'll be concerned enough to think about whether you just have a common garden migraine that is not as well controlled, or do you have something more sinister. I think sometimes if there's an element of concern, you should see a neurologist to make sure that thing is at least put to some scrutiny. Medical scrutiny.
Because if you're having headaches constantly, it could be as serious as maybe having a brain tumor or something, or it could be something less serious, but maybe in the eyes of doctors not necessarily less serious. It could be a case of high blood pressure.
Yes, of course, yeah. So there may be other explanations for that. So sometimes if things are severe enough, you should get it just checked out to make sure that at least you cover the bases and have peace of mind.
Right. So if a brain tumor were to rupture, is that a stroke?
Brain tumors, as a rule, they can bleed. So when they bleed, you can have like a stroke-like symptom. Yes, yeah. So that could be a sudden catastrophic loss of consciousness, which would require you to be in hospital. Usually that would be emergency scans and potentially even emergency surgery to be done if that happens.
And you drain the bleed?
Yeah, we drain the bleed and then we take out the tumor
Wow.
at the same time usually.
We've got a very interesting question here. I don't know whether this, because I don't know the syndrome, but it's from Ross. She says, "Hi, doctor. My daughter has Rett syndrome, and she has seizures at least 3 to 4 times a week. How much damage does this cause to her brain? The seizure started when she was 4. She's now 22. She's been on medication since she was 4.
Yeah. Well, I think if the epilepsy is well controlled, Rett syndrome is just a syndrome where one of the things you can have is epilepsy, and these individuals have lifelong epilepsy risk, and as long as you are on medication and you are seen by a neurologist. From a cognitive standpoint, if they are well managed, you should not expect to see a lot of abnormalities.
Okay.
We've got time for one more question, if there's a question.
Okay. From Duke. My son passed due to a medulloblastoma that burst in the brain stem. Are you able to advise how something like this happens?
Yeah, so medulloblastomas are pediatric tumors that exist in the small brain usually, and in the area, it is in close proximity to the critical part of the brain called the brainstem. The brainstem is essentially the continuation of the brain into the spinal cord. So that part is a very critical part because it controls functions such as consciousness, all the signs that of swallowing, of control of the upper limbs and lower limbs. Now, medulloblastomas is a malignant tumor for which the tumor grows quite quickly, and it's also what's called a very vascular tumor. It means they recruit a lot of blood vessels. So medulloblastomas have been known to bleed catastrophically. And if it bleeds towards the brainstem, of course, then there's a real threat to life. Sometimes, in the rare scenarios, we can't get to individuals on time. So that can happen.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Doctor, before we let you go, is there one thing you wish Singaporeans would take away from today's interview? What would that be?
I would think that at least Singaporeans should know that having the diagnosis is not necessarily the end of the world. Majority of these tumors can be treated. I think the key is to seek appropriate treatment early in a timely fashion, so that you can your treatment burden is a lot lower.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank
Ivan
you for having
Ng.
me.
Thank you.
Associate Professor Neurosurgeon from Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital, and Mount Elizabeth Cancer Care possible starts today.
Thanks for tuning in to The Big Show's Good Morning Doctor, brought to you by Mount Elizabeth Hospitals. Visit mountelizabeth.com.sg today to find out more for all your healthcare needs.
So much.
And
It was such a pleasure.
no, it's a pleasure so much. Yeah. Fantastic meeting you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Yeah.
For the amazing
Yeah.
work that you do.
Thanks.
We'll catch up sometime.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. CFD, right?
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, cheers.
that was incredibly eye-opening.
Right. We're so
Incredibly.
blessed to have, people like
Yeah.
Dr. Ivan Ng.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the number of lives he has saved?
He is saved, right? Just think about it. It's
Yeah.
just incredible. What an
and
amazing.
it's so complicated, right? Because a lot of people, like, for example, I mean, we were talking about Bernard and all that, right? It's so complex,
Yeah.
the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, is she here? Yeah.
I think we've got our next guest coming through.
Yes, Dorothy.
Dorothy McKim, producer of Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good.
Thank you.
Great.
Hold on, we're just gonna, change the name for a bit. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
now we
you.
got it right.
Right, Dorothy McKim can be reached at Base Asia. Welcome to the show, Dorothy.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So this is an amazing show that we're going to be talking about, the Immersive Disney Animation Exhibition. It is really quite something. We're going to get into how it came about and what it's about and some of the highlights of this show, because it runs till the end of February. And I think a lot of people in Singapore need to know more about it so that they will actually go down and watch it.
Stand by. Here we go.
Great.
The Kid Leroy featuring Justin Bieber. Stay right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. Thank you very much for staying. We have been telling you who our second guest is going to be. She is none other than Dorothy McKim, producer at Walt Disney Animation Studios. And today we'll be talking about the Disney Immersive exhibition now on at Marina Bay Sands. We've been hearing so many good things about it. Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning. So happy to be here.
So, Dorothy, there is this amazing exhibition happening, this immersive exhibition. Couple of other things that are happening at the same time. Mickey and Minnie's 95th birthday.
Yes. We actually just finished our 100th anniversary last year of the Walt Disney Company.
That's right.
And we are now with Mickey and Minnie in 95 years.
That's just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Now, this immersive experience ends on the 25th of February, all right? And so many people have gone down for it. It is in the, basically, Marina Bay Sands Theatre. That, to me, is kind of unusual. So, everyone goes, all the way to the front. And what can they expect from this exhibition?
It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. And we've just been thrilled to be in Singapore and to be sharing everything that we do at the Walt Disney Company. The guests will arrive and they will, in this beautiful venue, by the way, which the sound is probably, I've been to each one of the venues that we've opened, and this one has the best sound, which it's made for the theater, which is so terrific. But they can experience a pre-show that we have, and that takes you through the history of Walt Disney Animation Studios, of when Walt Disney started it 100 years ago. And then as you go through that, which takes about anywhere from 20 minutes to a half an hour, you go into the gallery where people will be able to experience everything. Pretty much we have 46 of our 62 films that we've made here over the course of the 100 years. And there's something in there for everybody.
How does one curate an exhibition like this? I mean, the technology alone must be mind-blowing.
Yes, we've been working on it for a year, and we came up with our theme of what do we want this theme to be? And most of all of our films here at Disney Animation are about wishing, hoping, and dreaming. So that part was easy as we put it all together. But just the technology is what is that cutting edge of technology that we can do, and where people are in somewhere upwards of a 20,000 square foot gallery, listening and watching up on these walls of their 20 feet, 30 feet high, and can watch all of these animated films with the floors activated, We have a wristband that is activated with all the sounds, and that lights up. We have little surprise bubble machines. We even have bubbles that have something else that come out of it with snow. And it's truly, truly amazing how we just put it all together.
Right. Now this is not just for Disney fans. It's for everyone. People of all ages.
That is correct. Everybody, there is something in there for every single person. And this is going to be the first time that maybe somebody who is 2 or 3 years old might be seeing one of these films for the first time. And there are going to be the people that remember when Cinderella came out in 1951, and when they watched that for the first time, or when they saw Jungle Book or Encanto or Frozen. And we are thrilled that Singapore is the first venue that we have 2 songs from Frozen 1 and 1 from Frozen 2, but we have Let It Go in this experience, which is so terrific, and it's the first country, city, states that we've been able to put it in.
And we're so honored. Thank you so very, very much.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Now, which part of the immersive exhibition do you think is the favorite for the people who have been to the exhibition so far?
Oh my goodness gracious. All the way from the pre-show when you're walking through, where we do highlight our artists all the way back from 100 years ago to today. We also have an area where you can draw Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto. So sometimes that's their favorite, that they can actually draw that character. And then we can take that, and what we hope to do is someday be able to then put that up on the walls of what they've drawn. But also inside, I think it's when the floors become activated and you can run around and have flowers from Encanto with Isabella with her flowers when they come down and they're on the ground and you're running around, they can follow you. The stars, when you wish upon a star, when you're walking around and those stars are following you, and you're just surrounded by this beautiful immersive experience, and the music. And watching people, it's pure delight to watch people sing and dance and run around and cry and laugh and just do what you want to do in there.
Because the many people I've spoken to love the bubbles.
Yes.
They love the bubbles.
Yeah, the
They
bubbles
absolutely love
are
it.
very special.
Yes, bubbles are very popular.
All right, we are speaking to Dorothy McKim, producer of Walt Disney Animation Studios, about the Disney Immersive Exhibition, now on at Marina Bay Sands, and it's on till the 25th of February. Justin Timberlake is next. This is Love Stoned on Kiss 92.
Dorothy, I'd like to talk to you. You said we could draw the characters of
Mickey, Minnie, Goofy.
Is that something that we do, or is it because I've heard it's a bit of it's almost a teaching experience that you're actually shown how to draw it.
You're shown how to draw it. So for each one of those characters, there's a paper there that takes you step by step of how. And so you have your blank sheet of paper that you put on the board, and we have pencils there, and it takes you through. And people actually do it. You follow each step, and you're like, oh, I just drew Minnie. I just drew Pluto.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. That's just so amazing.
Yeah, our artists that we work with here, because we're the only studio in the world, but actually still we draw everything by hand. We have 2D animation and CG, so it's the only studio that does that. And so all of our animators that we work with, and I produce all the 2D work, we still have, they're still working here, right? So Eric Goldberg, who was the originator of the Aladdin the genie from Aladdin, he makes it look so easy. He'll draw, and he's like, and he's just drawing like, I'm like, you just did that in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I can't draw.
Now, what is it about working at the Walt Disney Animation Studios that's so fun for you, Dorothy?
Oh my goodness. I've grown up here. I've been here for 43 years. In June, I'll be celebrating my 44th year. I started when I was 2.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's just a wonderful community of people that are living their dream. It's probably what you two are doing is you're living your dream of doing what you do. And that's what I'm surrounded around, of people just being here. And it's just so wonderful. And I love walking into their office and I'm like, oh, what are you working on? And I'm working on this, and they'll show me, when we were working on Wish, and show me how they were drawing, animating their characters and working on the backgrounds with the production designer. It's just, I don't know, I love it. I feel like I get to play all day.
Exactly. That's just what That's just what I was about to say. I would imagine, as much as there is work to be done at Disney, you don't really go to work. You go to play.
Yeah, we go to play. We're here and we have fun. We had a meeting today of like, how could we have more fun here at work?
Nice meeting.
And when you guys have more fun, we have more fun as well.
So true. That is so true.
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, we've been like huge fans of Disney.
I grew up with Disney.
Kids,
Yeah.
I grew up with Disney as well.
I grew up with Disney. I remember on one of my trips to the US, the one thing my wife said was, "We're going to Disneyland."
Yeah.
And I think it's true. If you visit the States and you don't visit Disneyland, you haven't visited the States.
I've been to all the Disneylands except the one in the States.
What?
Oh,
you have to go. You have to go. It's absolutely incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, it's really amazing. My father-in-law is a Disney legend. His name is Sam McKim, and he did the Disneyland map for the original Disneyland map, that you can get, and the one for Paris is all Paris Disneyland. He also did Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and so they called him the cartographer, and he worked with Walt. And he's no longer with us, but boy, the stories he would have of just, his meetings with Walt and just being treated. And it's the same today as it was. When I sit there and I think about those stories that he talked about when he started in 1954,
Wow.
do you have to go back on? Sorry.
No.
No. We're fine.
So it's, hearing the stories of how he was with Walt and Walt having meetings, we still conduct them like how he did, and it's just keeping that legacy going.
Not that a Disney fan it wouldn't matter to a Disney fan, but you said that the opening would take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. How long would it take me to cover this entire experience?
I would give anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay.
To
So that's really doable
enjoy,
too.
Yeah, to really enjoy and just walk around, especially that pre-show. So David Corrins is amazing. David Corrins is the production designer from Hamilton. And so we hired him and working with him, and he designed the entire pre-show. It's just a brilliant, brilliant work. And it has been so wonderful working with Base Entertainment. They are, oh my goodness gracious, just a wonderful, wonderful collaboration. And working with them, and we've worked closely with them at the Walt Disney Company for many years, and Frozen and Lion King, they've all been there at that venue, and just wonderful. The venue is just spectacular.
Yeah, it's always been a pleasure working for Base or with Base Asia. I mean, we did work with them the last time on Frozen as well.
Frozen, that's right.
When it was in Singapore.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want to get tickets, we have put the link up on our Facebook. So if you want to get tickets to experience the Immersive Disney Animation Exhibition, the link is on our Facebook. So make sure you go there to catch your tickets. It runs till the 25th of February this year. So please take everybody down, take the kids down, take grandma, grandpa down, take the whole family.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
Yeah.
And, there's Valentine's Day Magical Date Night.
Ooh.
All right. $88 for 2 tickets with a surprise gift as well. Limited availability. So make sure you get your tickets early.
Oh, that would
This
be
is going to be a great date night on Valentine's Day.
That would be so cool. Valentine's Day with Disney. It does not get better than that.
Yes, and it being the year of the dragon is so exciting.
True, very true.
Dorothy, this might be a stupid question. I didn't check my producers. Are you in Singapore?
No, I am here. I am in Burbank, California.
Okay.
California.
All right. I thought, maybe you might be in Singapore. in
I
the
wish.
office here
I
in
was.
Singapore.
I was a month ago.
Oh, you were here a month ago.
Oh, my first time. Oh my goodness gracious! I didn't want to go home.
We should have invited you here.
yeah.
You know,
I'll
to the
visit you
studio.
next time I'm there. I really want to come back. I truly, truly enjoyed it. It's the most beautiful country I've ever been to.
Oh, thank you, Dorothy.
Dorothy, we've got someone on our Facebook page who has said there are subtle Mickey Mouse references hidden throughout the experience.
Oh,
There are. Yes.
Wow, this
And-
man has done his homework.
Yes. We have those little hidden Mickeys around
Wow.
the entire experience.
Nice. I so want to go experience this now. I gotta go experience this now.
You need
'Cause
to go. It's so wonderful.
because FD has Mickey Mouse ears.
Ta-da!
Oh, we tease him all the time.
Little bit of makeup and I can be a stand-in.
Okay, we're going back on air. One last time. Here we go. All right, Ariana Grande with Yes and right here on Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. We are with Dorothy McKim, producer of Walt Disney Animation Studios. And, the opening day of the Immersive Disney Animation exhibition was on the 18th of November,
yep.
Which saw triple celebrations, with it not only marking its Southeast Asia premiere, but also the premiere of Let It Go from Frozen. And Singapore is the first hosting country in the world to project the animation at the exhibition, and all this on Mickey Mouse's and Minnie Mouse's 95th birthday.
Yeah.
Now, the exhibition is on till the 25th of February.
So if you want the link to tickets, it is on our Facebook page. So please, as I said earlier, entire family, kids, grandma, grandpa, take everybody, because there will be something for everyone. I'm 67 and I can't wait to go.
Once again, for people who are just tuning in, Dorothy, why should people check out this exhibition?
Everybody should check out this exhibition because there is something in there for everyone, like you said earlier, Glenn. It is truly amazing. It will transport you back to when you maybe first saw Jungle Book for the first time, or you saw Frozen for the first time, or Cinderella, and you'll remember those great memories and just bring back that warm feeling. And everything in there is all about wishing, hoping, and dreaming. And I just think we all need a dose of that now, and it just will really transport you and enjoy. And there's surprises in there, and you'll enjoy every moment.
I just want to ask one question, because when I was growing up, a lot of what I saw from Disney was black and white. Are the old black and white cartoons featured as well?
They are.
Awesome.
They are. And what we do have is we have in the pre-show, you will see some of our older shorts and black and white. And we also show, what's really great is we'll show some animation of where the animators are animating their rough animation, and then we show it to you what it looks like in color.
Oh, wow.
So a whole process.
Very cool. Very
Black
cool.
and white. Now you make me want to watch one of these cartoons in black and white. I've
you,
never watched
you
it in
have
black
gotta
and white.
You gotta watch Mickey in black and white. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
terrific.
Well, thank you very much, Dorothy, for joining us. We've been speaking to Dorothy McKim, producer of Walt Disney Animation Studios. And just to let you guys know, once again, the Disney Immersive Exhibition is now on at Marina Bay Sands till the 25th of February. Thank you so much for joining us, Dorothy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
We
Bye-bye.
look forward to seeing you in Singapore. Bye-bye.
Yes, I will be back. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Coming up, headline news and sports.
Fresh on Kiss 92, Ariana Grande. Yes, and